Hola, soy Jorge Gómez del grupo Tiempo Libre, invitando a todos los radioyentes de Recess with Spinelli.
You are tuned in to Recess with Spinelli here on WSPN, Saratoga Springs, New York, Hoxton FM, London, England, the International Radio Festival, and the New York State Music Blog. And today we are here with band leader Jorge Gomez of the Cuban band currently based in Miami, Florida, and that is Tiempo Libre. Thank you so much for joining me today.
It's a pleasure, my friend.
I understand that you said you were living in Saratoga Springs now too, and that's a recent move.
I moved a year ago because my wife is the president of SPAC. Elizabeth Sobo. But it's easy for me because we are traveling all the time with the band, so there's different airport, that's it.
Now you are here at the Saratoga Performing Arts Center, SPAC in Saratoga Springs, and the setup is a little different than normal. You guys are actually playing to the stage and the audience is on the stage.
Well, that was the idea from Elizabeth Sobo, because some people want to know more. They want to have more interaction with the musician. For example, right here the stage is too far away for the audience, and now we put the audience on the stage so that way they can hear even breathing when you play. So it's like a VIP session for them.
Actually, Latin music definitely seems to have that interactive feel to it, or at least there almost requires interaction between the musicians and the audience.
Latin music, in this case, timba style, that is the style that we play, is all about energy. So you transmit energy. You just not only play music. That way people understand better the Cuban music, and then it's a music to dancers, to dance, not to listen. The idea of the whole show tonight is to play all the rhythm from Cuba. Cha-cha-cha, danzón, timba, salsa, classical music, but playing with the Cuban rhythms.
Actually, for your last album, which came out in 2015, Pan Americano, I understand it was more of a mix of Latin music from around the Americas. What exactly makes Cuban traditional music a little bit different than some of the others?
Well, it's called son. People know salsa, but basically it's the instrumentation that we use. The timbales, the güiro, the maraca, the clave, and the syncopation that we use when we play the salsa rhythm. Every country have a different culture. For example, even the salsa that Venezuela play is different to the Cuban and the Puerto Rican and Dominicana. It's different. It's the same when you start speaking Spanish. In Cuba, it's different the way that Mexicans speak Spanish. So they have different flavors.
Now, you moved to Miami initially over 15 years ago, is that about right?
17
years ago now.
Yep.
It's been a while.
Yeah, a lot.
So when you first moved, what were some of the things you had to embrace or change?
Well, in Miami it's a very cosmopolitan city. We have people from everywhere, from Argentina, Mexico, Dominican, Russia. So when you are living surrounded from different people, different countries, you start learning about their culture, their food, the way that they move, how they want to dance the salsa. So we put a little piece by piece for those countries to our music.
Now, did you find that you have to educate people a lot about your music so they can appreciate it properly?
Well, sometimes, but normally they understand what Cuban music is, so they know how to dance. The only problem that maybe we're going to have is they don't understand nothing about the song that we are singing because it's going to be in Spanish. But as I tell you before, it's about energy. So when we start dancing, for example, music from Michael Jackson in Cuba, we don't understand English, and we dance with the music of Michael Jackson.
Now, I understand that you guys also do some courses here and there when you travel through some cities, right? As far as teaching folks how to play?
Most of the time we do master classes, even for kids and teachers. This morning we did a master class at 9 a.m. at the school. I was 400 kids. So, they don't understand Spanish, but they was dancing, they were learning how to play the instrument and how to feel the energy that we're talking about. It's not only about Cuban music, it's about to have a private concert in your school. That's amazing. I remember when I was a kid, they take me to a concert, and that was a classical concert. For me, see the violin play, the cello, the piano, the drum, it was, oh my God, this is incredible. It's a different when you hear music from the radio and when you see live perform.
So is that ultimately what made you want to be a musician? Were folks coming to your school and showing you how to play?
It's part of that. The other part is all my family. They are musicians. My father is a pianist, my mother too, my grandmother, my grandfather, so it's in the blood. I learned how to play Cuban music, not in the school, outside the school, on the street.
Actually, that goes into the name of the band, TIEMPO LIBRE, which I mean free time, right?
Yeah, free time. The name came because in Miami, we used to play with different artists, with Celia Cruz, Cachao, Albita Rodriguez, Arturo Sandoval. And on our free time, we get together just to play for fun. In a barbecue, for example, barbecue party, and we start playing. And then we start playing for a private party. Hey, let's play in my cousin's house, wedding or whatever. And now we get super involved, so we make professional career.
So at what point did this start becoming a professional full-time career as opposed to just the free time career?
Well, we started in 2001. The first gig was playing in Ravinia Festival in Chicago, open for Celia Cruz in front of 50,000 people. So that was the beginning of everything.
Well, I mean, since then, what have been some of the highlights or maybe some things about which you've been particularly proud over the past decade?
We have been recording with Gloria Estefan, with Sir James Galloway, with Joshua Bell. We have been in Dancing with the Stars, Conan O'Brien, playing all around the world in the big festival name, the Hollywood Bowl, the Playboy Jazz Festival. We have been in Turkey, Greece, Spain, Italy, Malaysia, Thailand, Singapore, China, Australia, all around the United States, Hawaii. So it's incredible. It's a nice career.
Would you say there's one country that definitely seems to be more hungry for Latin music?
Asia. Because when you play Cuban music in the United States, for example, people dance and people love the energy. But when you go to Asia, for example, China, they go to the concert to learn about how to play the instrument, about Cuban culture, about why we use the clave, the tumbao, how they can do that. And right now in China, there's a lot of Latino bands. They came with books and pen and asking things, recording things. Can you play the tumbao for me, for example? Can you do it again? Yeah.
Speaking of Latin music and being on tour, do you think it's perhaps a little difficult to translate the energy that you would get on stage onto a record, onto an album?
No, it's the same thing. We're recording that in my house, and it's like a party. It's not like serious recording. Oh my God, no, it's a party. Everybody having fun.
Actually, do you have any new material that's going to be coming up soon? Or are you working on any new albums?
In a single, because right now a lot of people don't do the whole album. They do a single and they're trying with that. Yeah, but it's a surprise. We also have a musical theater. We have 3 musical theaters now. And we are waiting to do it in Sarasota, in Florida.
Can you go into some detail what you mean by musical theater?
Musical theater is when you play and they're acting, dancing, lighting, the whole thing, like Broadway show. Well, it's about our life in the United States, how we leave Cuba, came to the United States, and all the work that we have to came through to this career. And the good thing is we have a lot of friends in Miami. They came before us and from my neighborhood, for the school, for everybody, and they give you a job very easily. A good help for us. They have the same food, rice and beans, pork. They speak Spanish. Everybody in Miami speaks Spanish, and they love salsa. So it's like being home.
What would you say are some of the little things, or I guess when you're on stage, what brings you the most joy?
When the people get the music the way that we got it on stage. When you see the face, happy face, and trying clapping and dancing, that's the best thing.
And before we head off, is there anything else that you would like to add about your music, your band?
Well, you can find every record in Amazon.com. We have a webpage, it's www.tiempolibremusic.com, and of course in Facebook, Tiempo Libre. And you're going to see everything. All our life is there. 17 years playing together.
Well, thank you so much for joining me today.
It's a pleasure, my friend.
You have been listening to Recess with Spinelli here on WSPN, Saratoga Springs, Hoxton FM, London, England, the International Radio Festival, and the New York State Music Blog. And we've been speaking with Jorge Gomez of Tiempo Libre.